The idea of pushing ourselves to the very edge of what is humanly capable. What is our absolute possible absolute? In order to be successful in this race, you have to combine a lot of various disciplines, from ultra running and surviving for maybe 60 hours and distance of 130 miles. The elevation gain of over 65,000 feet. It's like up and down Mount Everest 2 times from sea level. But also, you really have to sharpen your mind so that you can be focused. This year I thought I better study my damn map better, because Laz said I need to get further along in this race.
Now, you've made a lap under the time limit.
Oh yeah,
but not
the first year. And I missed last year by 10 minutes. But you told me, all right, Harvey, you made lap 1, year 1, lap 2, year 2, almost. 3, it only is going to take you 5 years to get to 5 laps. So I'm going to try to shorten that.
The average for a finish is 3 years. So this is your year.
This is my year.
Although the rusty spoon?
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about that rusty spoon. I've been thinking about it a lot.
You'll think about it more after you see it.
Now we're in the 2-week blanket of only easy training. So you should have seen things like last week. Looked like giant thing on the backpack. Just easy. But yeah, we are in a 2-week taper, so everything is much more calmed down. But we're just going to go to our routine this morning, go do the weights once a week. A bigger backpack than I normally wear, but I had to bring a bunch of chalk art to the school for next week when I'm away. One of my teachers, she's like, I didn't hear about this yesterday from the students. You didn't tell me. I was like, I was planning to tell you. But yeah, it's okay. I have a really amazing substitute who is a retired teacher, and I just have to finalize the lesson plans today, finish the grading, and get it all done, and then go. My teaching day starts here. Sometimes my students are on the bus or in the cars, and it's great for them to see that your health really matters. So I teach financial literacy and government, but our Americans don't always get the best conditioning in terms of everything that's fed to them about health. So I try to really have a positive impact. Even when I'm not saying something, I'm saying something. Yeah. It's like a running billboard. So you gotta see me. Start on rowing to warm up. Get into a routine. I'm Harvey Lewis, and I'm a teacher and ultra runner from Ohio. This is my 3rd venture of Barkley, and it is a race that has challenged me to grow the most amongst all the races I've ever run. Barkley is a wild animal. Barkley became really so popular after the 2013 Barkley documentary, the Barkley Marathons, the race that eats its young. I feel like prior to that documentary, most people had never heard of this race. It's an iconic race because of the race director, Lazarus Lake. There's nobody on the planet like this man. There's no race director like him. He is basically an artist, a poet, somewhat of a crazy man. And a humorist, all combined into one.
Have the full exposure of being a professional, but over the years I've seen enough to know that, yeah, you set something up, a random group of people will come and out of all the space available, set up right next to you, and then talk. My name is actually Gary Cantrell, but most of the people here call me Lazarus Lake. Me and Raw Dog hiked those trails, and when you went out there, you knew that what had to happen. So there was, this is a place to have a race like no other. You don't usually try to dispel rumors about the Barkley. The more misinformation's out there, the less good information is easy it is to pick out. I started hiking here in '73. The James Earl Ray Escape was in '76. Followed it with great interest. Everybody did. We had particular interest because I knew the places he was going to. I knew what kind of mess he got into. And then the Barkley came up later, about 7 or 8 years later. And we didn't really think about the two. Every year you do a race write-up about the race. And one year I'd stumbled across a magazine article about James Earl Ray's escape. And it had all these quotes from him talking about training for the escape and during the escape and how he felt. So I took those quotes and worked them into the story as if it was one of the runners. Didn't tell his name until the end, and thought it was clever and funny, and you know, that was just it. But then when people started saying, oh, the race was inspired by James Earl Ray, you just say, whatever. You know, you don't confirm or deny anything. And then of course you end up, people, it's a tribute to James Earl Ray. One thing for sure, it's not a tribute. Any connection we have with him is mostly in the form of making fun of what a short distance he traveled.
Barkley is, say, roughly 125 miles, 200 kilometers, with climbing and descent equivalent to going up and down Mount Everest from sea level twice, about 20,000 meters or 66,000 feet.
For the fact that you can look around and basically see the tops of the hills that you run up and down, it's surprising how difficult the course actually is.
When you're making steps running down a mountain in the dark and you can't exactly see what's below the leaves, but also knowing that there's a turn that you must make in maybe 700 meters, and maybe you have only one shot of seeing a specific thing, which will tell you running off trail that you need to make that turn.
The very first time I showed up here, basically every single climb and descent was way more burly, tough, challenging than I expected it to be. So it was blissful ignorance in year one. Coming into it, years 2 and 3 was harder because I actually knew what was to unfold.
It is mostly off trail, unmarked, no GPS or assistance from any electronic devices. And it is rough terrain.
You got to hop over logs, cross over rocks, go through creeks, get your feet all wet and muddy.
It is rocky, it is covered in briars, and everything looks the same. There's no grand mountain vistas or reference points way off in the distance to help you know which way you're going. It's deep forest. And you look around and it's nothing but trees that all look the same.
Across the whole 25, 26 miles, you may only have literally 1 or 2 flatter areas that are like a kilometer or a little slightly more than that.
Along the course, there are books that serve as checkpoints to prove that you've actually followed the course. And so each lap you have to rip out the page corresponding to your bib number, and you get a new bib number for each loop. Generally, the course, so in the decade or so that I've been doing this, the course will have minor changes every year, and then there will be some more significant changes every 3 or 4 years. And so out of 12 to 14 books, normally 2 or 3 of them will change location.
So it'll be entertaining to see what books Laz chooses. Yeah, there could be anywhere from like a dozen to 14, maybe more books out here. Laz instructs you with his cryptic instructions how to find them. It's sometimes difficult to read, especially if you didn't have English as your primary language, because it says something like, oh, you must go to find the tree that's slightly bent over with a round rock next to it, and then another 5 meters over from that, you'll find a log with a rock that's right there. And so if you're out there in the nighttime, there's a lot of rocks around here. So, you know, it can be a little bit of a daunting task.
Yeah. It looks so nice outside. Sunny and clear and blue. You look and the temperature is only in the 50s. And then you think, you go outside dressed for it to be a sunny, nice 50-degree day. God damn, that wind. You're immediately scurrying back in to get more clothes. You get some great shots of hopeless faces, especially this year since there's plenty of water. You know this morning that going through waist deep water would feel really good. They go in the tunnel in the front, go all the way under the prison. But in the tunnel, the water looks like this year it's maybe that deep. So it'd just be your feet and ankles. If you can't climb up the chimney, then you've got to go through that, and it's about waist deep.
Really?
Wouldn't you want to be submerged to your waist this year? Or this morning?
Wow.
Or last night when it was 20 degrees? But hey, then they go up the bad thing. They'll warm up in a hurry.
Isn't the bad thing a mountain upon a mountain upon a mountain? You can't see the peak, right?
This right here, they'll go up that way. You take a certain route past those 2 water tanks.
Yeah.
And if you climb it just right there's a big ravine in between the two, between that hill and the mountain beside it, which is more or less climbable on the route on this side. And then they call it Razor Ridge, and it's about as wide as from me to there. And it's just a little strip of ridge that connects the 2 mountains. So if you go the right way, you cross Razor Ridge. Otherwise, you have to go down that ravine and then back up the other side. Following the right route makes it less horrible. Not much, but a little bit. And then the bad thing after that is just a nasty ass climb.
It's very difficult physically and mentally. It takes speed and strength and also navigation skills to be able to complete the race. And so far, only 17 people have finished it in over 40 years.
Good morning, Miss Reyes. How you doing? Happy Friday. Hey guys, we took a little extra time to get up. Oh. How you guys doing? So well. Okay, Walter, everybody, let's get going. Ernest, you ready to go? Okay, guys, so.
Oh no, it went up. It went up.
How's everyone doing today? Good. That's good. So, okay, guys, let me get everyone's attention. There we go. Thank you. So Caleb, hold on. Calm down. We're gonna do some push-ups. Start things off. Or planks. That would be good.
My name is Chris Meyer. I have known Harvey since 2010 as a student of his. We became great friends after that, running buddies. He attended my wedding, and yeah, so I guess it's been 14 years now. I can remember the first time I first heard of Harvey. I was coming to the school and was into athletics, and I kept hearing these stories about this guy who was running 100+ mile races, and I thought, that's impossible, you guys are just kidding, this isn't real. And he was one of my first classes of the day that day, and he had actually just run a race in Greece, I remember. And I thought, wow, like this is amazing. You know, I've got to just be as close proximity to him as possible, because he just is this like super positive, super inclusive person. And we actually started a running club that exact same year, and yeah, it really got me into running longer distances. I went on to run ultras and lots of marathons, and yeah, I can attribute so much of it back to Harvey and just his general spirit, you know? I mean, he just gives it off naturally, I think. It's hard to explain, but when you know, you know, you know? Whenever I started training for my first marathon, Harvey was a coach, and so we would run together a lot. You know, we had like very set training schedule, but then I made a secret agreement, which is not so secret now, but literally, if he ever offered to run extra, I always will say yes. So we would go for, you know, like my first 20-mile run, and I'm tired, you know? I mean, it's the first time I've ever run 20 miles. And of course, Harvey's at least not appearing tired. You know, oh, you look like you're pretty strong out there. You wanna go a little bit farther? Sure, yeah, let's do it. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, absolutely not. Like, that's the last thing I wanna do right now. Like, I love to run, but like, I'm tired. But I had already made that secret agreement to myself, and so I would do it, you know? And yeah, and I think that's sort of the spirit of Harvey in a way. It's like, that's what he would do, and it just, I don't know, there's just something that makes it easy in that moment, in a way.
I know you love the speakerphone. There you go.
So
Well, I thought that's what it was.
I'm trying to get ready.
You ready for the weekend activities, honey?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. How's Carly and Chance?
They're good. They know I'm getting ready for work, so
Uh-oh.
they're not happy.
We have to go for a walk when I get there.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be good. They'll be happy about that. We can do whatever. We can get the Mexican food tonight. We could even go to commune in Columbus or wherever.
Wow. Well, that's very generous. Commune just came out with their like spring menu.
Do you want to see if there's any availability for this evening?
Sure.
I go to Circleville every weekend, Friday to Monday. Basically, as soon as I leave school, I run oftentimes as fast as I can get back to the city place and my city home, and just grab my bag and then out the door. And it's about an hour, 45-minute drive up to Circleville to where Kelly is. And it's kind of a nice contrast because I live in the urban environment Monday through Friday with teaching, and then I live in a more rural environment on the weekends, Friday to Monday morning. Wake up at 5 a.m. and bam, back to the city. So I get to experience the highlights of each. All right. Oh, wait. Oh. Hold on.
There we go. All right, all right. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, Carly, you're gonna be nice.
Hi, my name's Kelly, and I am Harvey's partner. We've been together for about 10 years now. I'm also an ultra runner. A lot of people think that I got into running ultras because of Harvey, but I actually was already running ultras before I met him. So we did meet at an ultra though. I think Barkley needing to it's hard to track your runner in Barkley because you don't really know what's going on until they come in from a loop. So for me, I have to still go on about my day, not knowing what's going on, but it's heavily on my mind. So I'm always thinking about it. And then I'm so scared I'm gonna miss a phone call or an update or something. So for that duration of Barkley, I'm a little high stress during that time. Harvey has a really quirky personality. It's kind of a mix between eclectic and neurotic, maybe. Harvey's very interesting and he keeps me on my toes. I'm always looking at him thinking what are you talking about? Or I'm always looking at him thinking what are you doing? And that makes him very interesting. Harvey's a very compassionate person. He's very extroverted as well. I'm very introverted. So it's great because he has the ability to talk to everybody and everyone, even if the person doesn't want to talk to him. I think by the time they're done talking, they're hugging him and they're so happy that they met. He has this ability to just make people smile and he enjoys it. Harvey is a very authentic person. I think everything pretty much what you see on social media with Harvey is exactly how Harvey is in real life. He's just an amazing human.
Hey, how you go? Oh, you got another one.
Look at that little puppy.
Oh my goodness. Whoa. You got a new dog. Oh. Oh, Jules, what are you doing?
When we first started dating, talking about Harvey's time, his lack of judgment and time.
Lack of judgment, honey. What are you talking about? Lack of judgment.
So we would start dating and he on the weekend he'd be like, oh, so I was thinking maybe we could go to, here we could go hiking, and then if you want we could go camping this night over here, and then there's that one restaurant we've always been wanting to go to, we can probably stop there. And I remember listening to him say all this stuff thinking
and we did it a lot of times,
and I was like, what is he talking about? There's no way we can do all of that stuff in one weekend.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't. No,
we did a lot of times all that stuff.
We would hit one or two things that he talked about. But it used to kind of stress me out in the beginning because I would be like, oh my gosh, we have so much stuff to do this weekend. Then I started realizing I think he just fantasizes a lot.
Fantasizes?
Yeah, you dream about what you want to do, right?
No. Well,
yeah,
that's where it starts.
Good. That's where it starts.
We do it. We do it.
Yeah, we do it. And if we talk about doing 10 things on a weekend and we only do one of those things or two of those things, I've come to realize
that's
great.
But we do a lot more of 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do, honey. We do.
We do. Yeah, we do a lot. But in the beginning, I used to come home from being on a weekend with him and I'd be totally exhausted and wiped out and I'm I can't keep up with this guy, mentally or physically.
It's coming together. Getting everything ready. I better have Lazarus socks.
like there's a 99% chance this is fine. There's a 1% chance might say, oh, you guys, whatever. But I don't think so. Like 99% we're cool. There we go. Got the tent up. Oh yeah. This is one of my favorite bathrooms in the world. It doesn't look like much, but it's always 70 degrees. Come on in. And it's always 70 degrees in here. It's like being in the Caribbean. And you got this amazing warm shower, the skylights. This warm shower, it feels like you're in a natural hot springs. It's incredible.
Harvey, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much. Oh man. Sarah sent the socks to Laz's house for Brady and I. Yeah. I also have these nice two Tom Jew socks. You might like them in the gift of.
Well, it's going to be in the Transcon. This is all. Right. Next year, I get to pick the clothing.
Okay, that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Number 15. We have an extra waiver for you to sign.
Okay.
Yeah. This isn't supposed to start happening until like 5 o'clock.
You think of 5? It's funny because when I ran it.
So tomorrow, the day before the start, we're going to have Laz is going to lay out the map for this year. And the runners are going to come around and they're going to copy that map onto their map and study it and go over it with the directions. It lays out the exact route that you're supposed to be taking. You're to follow it to the best of your ability. It's like a treasure map. I feel like different. So that's amazing. Yeah, I feel different this time. I really feel that it's upon me to make things happen, and I control my destiny. Yeah.
What your name's called?
It's very seems very like you're like, oh, it just keeps going.
Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't know that was the guard spot was here, so I just continued. It was like there were like some pine trees through here.
Yeah.
And just a little winding Jeep road.
Nice.
Well, it was like real rustic.
Yeah. So I think that like this all feels easy, but like making sure you take the turn here and staying high, navigating to this spot.
That turn there, is that the traditional turn that we used to make, you think?
No,
that's not.
The turn we usually take follows this band here a little bit below. This isn't a Jeep road. This is like a
little.
You just like following the ridge line. And then I think it picks up like a really old Jeep road at some point around the top here. This is the top right there.
That's nice. Worth that extra weight.
70.
When you weigh the two treats. All right. Bigger treats.
Gloves, compression shorts, socks, gaiters, shoes, 2 food bags. Okay.
You might want to put like 60% or 60 to 65%.
I know that part.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
And then there'll be after the first loop there'll be 2 wrapped food items.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 water bottles. So we're gonna make sure. Is it going to be the same thing on the clockwise as far as, are you going to start with an empty bottle?
We'll do it the same every time.
Okay.
Now we'll always start with like the tailwind in one bottle.
Right.
And
okay.
One bottle water, unless I adapt because I say it's really warm and I'm getting dehydrated.
Okay.
And then I'll add another bottle to the backpack.
Okay. And so tailwind will be in one of those, and then trekking poles.
Yeah.
Are you always going to take glasses?
I'd like to.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll see. We'll add in the playbook of the bearings if I can complete that in time tonight.
All right.
Well, I love you, honey, and I'll be thinking of you out there.
I love you too. I'll be thinking of you.
Thank
Carly, me, Carly, and Chance.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Well,
be careful, okay?
Oh, yes.
But not too careful.
There you go.
Being careful doesn't win.
There you go. That is
Being
it.
careful doesn't get you a Barkley finish.
Right. That's great.
But don't hurt yourself.
There we go, honey. There we go. Well,
All right.
all right. You sleep well. Good night, honey.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, babe.
I should say real quick good night to or hello to my dad, but I just sent him a message. The race has a floating start, so it can start anywhere between midnight and 12 noon the next day. So I don't know any other race that has a start time that's within 12 hours. So it always is, Laz is always trying to get into the psychology of the runner. Once Laz blows the conch shell, you have an hour to prepare yourself before we all huddle over near the yellow gates, and Laz starts the race with a cigarette.
Is it the touch screen?
Hope not. It's not. Woohoo!
Oh, 1 out of 38.
Thank you. Sorry.
Who wants the 1 out of 38? Going once, going twice. So the odds have gone up of getting the touch screen. Now it's 1 of 38.
All electronics must be removed. So you're not allowed to have a phone, you're not allowed to have a GPS watch, any type of electronics in that sense. So to manage this, he actually goes out and buys 40 watches from Walmart, the $10 watches that are, they work. Well, and even amongst the 40, there's one of these watches that is a digital watch that he says will absolutely go haywire out there in the woods.
We have 5 women's watches and 4 women, so one of the men will get a women's watch. Would you rather get the touch screen that doesn't work or the women's watch?
So if you're the 1 in 40 runners who randomly picks up the watch, because you just have an opportunity to pick up whichever box you want to, then that's the watch you got. So you're gonna have a watch that is, if you accidentally brush it against anything, then it's just gonna go bizarre. He said it was really tough for him to program.
Is there a runner to collect a watch?
Sure is. Jay Dalman, how are you?
A crew.
Not
All
crew.
right. 1 out of 38 chance.
1 out of 38. I'm 38th, huh? You did okay.
It's not 1 out of 37.
I'll see you out there.
Not me. You'll see me mainly right around here.
Right around here.
The conch was blowing about 4:16, and so that means we're going to start at 5:17, and we'll have about 2 hours at night before the beautiful sunrise as we're embracing the nature. And throughout the night, there was a car alarm that went off about an hour before that, almost exactly. And it almost sounded like a conch the way it was. Good morning. How are you doing? Yeah. So here we go. really ready to take on my sleeve. I'm sure you guys can go outside.
One minute, no, not 5 minutes.
No.
I'm not taking this. Can you get my bag, my suitcase, and get the other? I think you have to go. Everybody's moving.
Take a minute to remember why you're here. Make sure you get your asses out alive and to have some fun out there. We've got 1 minute. We got a minute and 13?
Yeah, I think a minute 13.
Okay, just making sure I wasn't going to light it the wrong time. 30 seconds. Make peace with your God.
Good luck, John.
15. 10. Fun, everyone. 5. They can't wait to die.
I've done a lot of wild races from winning Badwater to winning Big's Backyard World Championship with a new record this year of 4.5 days and 450 miles. And I would be a little naive if I just said that does it. I'm 100% going to cross the finish line in a sense of tapping the yellow gate at the end of 5th lap. But I do feel like my years and years and decades of experience have given me some of the particulars necessary to be successful at this race.
Is that your typical breakfast?
One of them. It's really good. Bagel, toasted, avocado.
I love you.
I love you too. Rendezvous in Canada. Yes. All right.
I love you.
Ciao. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
On the drive.
Yeah, make sure you stay connected with me until
yes.
You go to
Well,
bed
as I
before
can.
it starts. So.
Harley, oh yeah. Oh, I love you too. Your chance. Oh goodness. Oh yeah. That age. You almost got that drone today, didn't you? That was right. All right.
Sunny.
All right.
Bye-bye.
When I met Harvey, I didn't know who Harvey was. I don't know Harvey elite. I see Harvey as Harvey Lewis, and I love the fact that he can do what he does and he enjoys it. He's really after this Barkley and this finish, and as much as I 100% like want him to finish, I also want him to know that it doesn't define him. And it doesn't have anything to do with friendships and relationships and my feelings towards him or anything like that. But, I think what he's going to take away from this, if he finishes Barkley, I think he's just going to look at it as like, okay, what else can I go do? So whatever happens from Barkley, I think we'll just be waiting for what's next.
We're not doing that. Ole, ole.
Way to go, way to go.
Good stuff.
Good job.
Great job, great job.
Yeah. Good job. Way to go, John. Been a good day, huh? All right. Happy. Good job, guys.
Come on.
Yes, good job, Kevin. Good morning, Dustin.
I'm Jasmin Paris, and I'm a hill runner, ultra runner. I'm a mum of two and I'm a vet as well. People don't realise just how steep it is there, because like you'll be pulling yourself up on trees and things. And sometimes you'll be kind of pulling yourself up on trees, and then you'll get to a bit where you like accidentally climb into this kind of all these like hanging vine things, and then you're trying to pull those out, and then you get brambles around your legs, and you're still going up this insane slope. And then, there's things on the ground like trees and rocks and bits of water, streams and stuff. And I mean, sections, I would say that a good number of the descents is more like a sort of controlled fall. Certainly in the early loops, where in the early stage of the first loop, I'd say that, the first couple of descents, because people are so desperate to stay together, you fall over a lot, you're on your bottom a lot and sliding, and you kind of, it's constant. You have to. Your mind has to stay focused all the time. And as I say, it's quite. People don't realise just quite how challenging the terrain and the ascent is.
Ole. How are you doing? Olé.
John's on around the corner. Nice, thank you. Good job, man. Good job. Buddy. Proud of you, Igor.
There you go, John! I can take your
Yeah, bye.
Okay. Take those. I've taken them back. Okay. Good job, man. Good job. Sorry, I'm sorry. No worries. Let me see the hot one.
How was the first loop?
Sorry?
How was the first loop?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
Fun?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Find the sign down here.
Rice pudding and a yogurt and one of those fruit cups and fruit cheese.
Harder than expected, or?
I was here last year, so about the same.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm more scratched. I'm a lot more scratched.
10. Number?
14 and 15.
11. 12.
The missing page when it happens is horrible. You got one coming in? 8:32:38.
How was the loop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
You like that?
A big group, 20 at the start, 20 for 4 hours, 20 person. And 15, 10, and 6. And Jasmin arrived 5 minutes, I think.
14. I'll get you pages so you can get.
Are you finishing a loop or coming in short? Are you finishing a loop? They always like to touch the yellow gate, even if they came in a shorter way.
Do I need to stay while you count them?
It's wise, because if it doesn't come out to 15, you'll want to react.
Okay. Other people then. So I've done to his knee. And then down the right jaw, I slipped and got stuck. And bent in a really funny way. I think I could see the fracture that way.
You were with him until
And I needed food. Maybe I had a couple of Snickers bars for the food.
15.
Good?
15.
Okay.
But yeah, if they were short, we don't want to have to look for you.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks.
That's a good number, John. Yeah.
Olé.
7-hour lap this time, John. You don't have the dead weight to slow you down.
38
Shit. Is it in your map?
No, I don't think so. It's a... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
And your bib number
It's
was
not in the
also
bib, right?
with it.
Not
No, it's
in
not
the
in the
bib.
bib. The bib was in the pages.
What about the thing on your waist?
I already asked. That's still out. Oh, we got another one coming in.
Yes.
We've got
Pockets,
12
anything.
in the last 16.
There's no page on the ground anymore, right?
There's another coming.
This is Greg that he just I counted, and it was 15.
Is there 15 there or 16?
Here?
Yeah.
It's 15.
They were together, maybe they just.
Here, you want to count Greg's because they came in right next to each other and just make sure he didn't have an extra one. I counted 15.
Okay. I'll count Greg.
Yeah, Harvey.
Olé. Welcome back.
Great number.
Good job, man. Good luck.
Welcome back.
51, 52.
There's a lot of pages with no numbers.
No, they should all have numbers.
No, there's a couple
Did
books
you write
out
the
there.
pages in?
Did I write the pages in?
You go through the books page by page, and if there's not a page number, you write.
No, I did not do that. Ooh. How many pages in a row could there
There
possibly
was
be
a
with
lot.
no pages?
Yeah,
But when
because
they tear them out,
there were other
you have
people
no
that were
idea what
stalled.
page the blank page is.
Greg's
Yeah.
is like, Greg's
Well,
is
you're
good.
right.
There were a lot of other people
Well,
stalled.
I see that. Yeah, that's bad news.
Communicated.
How soon is Greg leaving?
He arrived around 5 minutes ago.
Oh, you know.
That was always with
Greg's he's got 15.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can I go? Can I go?
You can go.
Okay.
Yep.
2 minutes. He's leaving in 2 minutes?
How are you feeling?
Going this way. If I ever have an inkling of wanting to quit, I have to immediately recall that like this is a gift to be out here, and it's something not to take for granted. So then I can't quit because I have to like take the journey as far as it will go. Thanks, guys. All right, trekking poles, couple bites. This trekking pole will not survive. Okay. Take your pick. I will keep. Is one of the ones from earlier? Yes. Optical. Take the one and then give me this one.
Those are the same. The other one's out there.
Maybe I'll just take one of these things and hope for the best. Hey, Dad, I need a bag for my books.
This.
So Harvey came in just a little bit ago. He looked, pants a little shredded and a bent pole, but you know what? He's been in this situation before. I'm sure he did take a couple spills, but I'm sure a lot of other people out there have. He came in the tent, switched some gear out, got a few calories, but packed a ton of calories with him, and then he was right back out on the course. Typical Harvey, smiling, ready to roll, ready to attack this.
Let's just go, and we'll go up Little Hill because it's pretty direct to get to the fire tower down.
That's a short route.
And we ended up back on Stallion, and we went all the way up Stallion again. It was impossible.
We were
I had no
trying to
idea
go
how
up,
it happened.
like you said, and at some point I'm like, guys, I hate to say this, but I'm pretty sure we're on Stallion Mountain again. And he's like, no.
That's impossible.
And
We
then I'm
crossed the river, like that's impossible.
There's Bobcat Rock. We're like, how did we do that?
Where did you get? Oh, you mean you're not just gonna punch him? No, I had so much fun. No, we got to. It took 5 hours and 22 minutes to find book one.
Oh, God.
When you realize you hit Bird Trail and North Boundary, and you have to turn around and go all the way back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Jasmin! Damien! Nice work, bud. I'm more than one day.
Okay. We're in the exact same spot.
Anyone else? Kyle?
I had Jasmine's. And I had John's. Now I got Jasmine's. Thank you. I was ahead of myself.
Seymour's good.
Nothing can go wrong.
Oh, there's one more. No, there's one more.
Oh, it's in the... There's 15.
Great. Thanks so much.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Thanks.
There you go. Anybody else need a
I guess he's always supported me in what I want to do, regardless of whether it's a bit crazy. And actually, he ran the spine as well this year, after having said for many years that he would never do it. So he's probably just, you know, also coming around to these things the way that I do. But he was very supportive from the very start. And you know, he came out there 3 years in a row with me and crewed me, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to crew me, because if you have someone that knows you inside out, that's the key, isn't it? When you can't speak and you can't move and you're in that kind of interlupal period, you need someone that knows you like at the back of your hand, and that can kind of give you what you need, and also give you that kind of that moral, you know, that boost to get out there, that hug and send you back out there, which must be hard for them, knowing, you know, how much you're suffering and seeing the state you might be in.
Yeah. Good luck, Jasmine. Good luck, New York. Good luck, Damon. Woo-hoo.
I probably ran the first loop too fast, but I was really concerned about the new areas at Stallion Mountain, and I knew that Greg would be amazing at orienteering or orienting, and John Kelly and Jerry Campbell. So that's one of the reasons why I took a risk. But wow, that was intense. Well, definitely intense. Well, we did not give up until the end. There were times where I thought, oh, it'd be so nice to just come back after like 15 hours out there. And so I just laid down and slept at this thing called the Skillet, out near a river, little river, just by myself. Covered myself with my shirt, used my backpack as a pillow, had that nice dirt as the ground. And it wasn't the warmest thing, I'll say that. But I laid there for like almost 2 hours, because I was really trying to wait until someone with stronger orienteering experience would be able to help me with the next book. And then finally Guillaume did show up, but he was running. So I was like, I don't think I'll be able to keep up with you this time.
It's a difficult race. He's done a lot of good hard work and preparation, and sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't pay off as much as you'd like. The navigation is still needs work. You take it, you know, you study the material and take a test, and if you don't pass the test, then you know you have more to learn.
Usually somewhere around the third loop, I think, is when things get real, when some of the difficulties start to arise and some of the natural separation occurs between people, which can just be a matter of people hitting their low points at different times. Everyone's going to hit lows in something like this and go through some really challenging stretches, and it might just be a matter of one person hits it now and then the other person hits it a few hours later.
I'd like to try and do the first 3 loops in 32 hours to give myself enough time to do the last 2, and it worked out pretty well. The main way to try and get around the first loops faster was to try and stick with people, so I did manage to run quite a lot of loop 2 and loop 3 with John Kelly and Damien and Ihor and Sebastian, so that was really helpful.
Last year she got, I think, halfway through the 4th loop on time, which is the furthest a woman's gone, but wouldn't call that, the record failure is not what you're shooting for. What she'll want is to finish the 100.
Good job, guys. Good job, John. Well done. I bought you.
4636. See what you
Here are
got.
pages.
Let's see, what's our, it is 45.
That's right off the XLs?
Anyone else have what do you want, Coke or chocolate? Coffee. This is coffee. Okay. What do you want?
Can you stop to choose?
Yes. Do you want pasta or porridge?
All right, John.
Doing great.
Good job. Hands are stuck in the back.
Wait.
Greg, you got this, man.
Go, Greg.
I get light.
You don't choose. Oh, I guess, yeah. No.
What do you want to do?
What's next?
Next is clockwise. Jerry.
You prefer clockwise?
I don't mind.
Don't mind? Okay.
Jerry.
You. Jasmine, are you close to being ready to go?
If you want clockwise, it's all yours. That's the journey. It's amazing
Video.
Woo-hoo.
Nice work. Nice work. Good job. Make that thick. Nice work, Jared.
Thanks.
You have it.
Today's the day, Jasmine.
Here we go.
Good job, Conrad.
In 3 hours, daylight is going to be amazing. Nice work. You want the banana?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Go!
It meant a huge amount. I'm really still so grateful that he did that, because I think that without that I probably wouldn't have finished. So he offered me the option of, I think initially he said, do you want to go clockwise or anti-clockwise? And I sort of said, I don't mind. I think partly because I was kind of struggling even to talk at that moment, the idea of going straight back out, all those things. But also I was aware that he'd been in the camp for a little while and he'd come to the gate, and essentially the option was there for him to go clockwise, which is the easier direction. So I didn't really want to say, I'm going to take your clockwise. But then I think Gary Robbins said something to him as well, and basically said she wants to go clockwise, she's not going to say it. And then Jared said to me, if you want clockwise, it's yours. It was incredibly kind of him, and definitely made the difference. I think it made the difference between me finishing and not. Both from the point of view of clockwise being, I think everybody feels that it's a bit easier, but also just that boost, of knowing that I was going with a slightly easier direction, so I had a chance. And just that that kindness. It was like everybody believed in me, him included. So yeah, I'm really grateful to him.
Ihor just went this way, and he's got such a good sense of humor. He arrived at the Frozen Head Tower, and there's some media, photographers, a few photographers here. It's one place they can go. And he says, it's only 60 hours, not 107. And he smiles to me. And then he got his water, headed on down Rat Jaw, which honestly, people see this and it looks like, wow, that's some climbing. But you could see here, that's like the crest. This is the easiest part. And once you get over that, you've got such steep areas. There's like a downed, dead power line. that you like grab onto and use to hoist yourself up. It's so steep. So it's deceiving, but he's looking really strong. There's some people back at camp that think maybe only 3 will finish this year. I think 5, maybe 6 will finish. I hope the first woman with Jasmin. The Barkley keeps getting tougher, but also the runners, they evolve too. And it's remarkable, and super excited for everyone still in this race.
Great job.
Jasmin, hopefully, I mean, we don't know this yet, but you know, she's out on loop 5 right now. Jasmin's already making history, and that's amazing. I am rooting for her. When I first met her, I was like, I'm rooting for you. And she was so kind, and she goes, I'm rooting for you too. And I'm really hoping that she's able to complete the loop. And if not, she's already made history, and I know that she can, you know, at some point will be able to finish the Barkley.
This was extra, right? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. We got this was extra. 2. Bonus contact. 4. That's what it is. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's real. Congratulations.
Nice work, Ihar.
I thought I'm going to do it, you know, I'm going to finish this kind of 3-year thing, this huge dream that I've had. I'm going to do it. I'm going to prove that I can. It's happening. And then I got into, you know, with that kilometre to go, and looked at my watch, and like the minutes had just been ticking away on that descent. I was kind of getting down into the valley. I was thinking, it must be this next switchback. It must be the one. And then it went on and on and on, and I was like, this can't be possible. Like the time is just dripping away. I looked at my watch and I thought, this is going to be really tight. Like you're going to have to actually run like a proper normal run. You know, the noise of the kind of clapping and cheering on both sides, it was, I guess, that like a racehorse might feel going down like that, the kind of funnel at the end of one of these huge races with kind of people on both sides, and it felt a bit like that, but all I could see was like the gate. Like that was the only thing. In fact, it was almost probably because of the oxygen deficit, everything was sort of almost blurry around the edges, and all I could see in my focus was the gate. Everything was focused on getting to the gate, so I didn't even contemplate, I didn't even have energy to decelerate, to like in some way modify reaching the gate and touch it in kind of, it was just about getting there. So I kind of like hit it, fell over, and then crumpled on the ground because it was, yeah, I'd given it everything to get there.
She had to turn herself inside out. The time didn't make sense, but it didn't matter. She knew what she had to do and she found a way, and that's what makes this race so special, is that you have to be faster on your 5th lap than your 4th lap, and you know it's impossible, but you do it anyways. And she just did that, and I knew when she went through the tower with the limited time she had on the clock that she was gonna finish this race no matter what. I knew she'd find a way, and to do it with 99 seconds left, I mean, I almost had a heart attack, but for me to see that and to watch her fall on the right side of the clock was everything I could have asked for from being here this year.
It's kind of nice to have been the first woman. I hope there'll be many more women after this. I think maybe it's going to be remembered as one of those things of kind of like a breakthrough moment, like, which I think there's lots of those in sports, but I think there's moments that maybe kind of change things going forwards. And certainly for the Barkley Marathons, I think this made a change. It proved that a woman could finish it, and it'll change the landscape of the race, I think, in the future, but hopefully other races as well, just kind of opening it up, the understanding of what's possible, hopefully other sports as well and other areas of life. You're the only one that can work out and can define what you're capable of. So let you be the judge. My approach to these things has always been, I'm going to go out there and give it my absolute best shot. I'm not going to look at what the statistics are of what's been done previously, what the expectations are of what I should be capable of. I'm just going to go out there and give it my absolute best shot. So I think that's, you know, if you take that approach, then I think generally you'll be really surprised at what is possible.
You don't have to be perfect. You ask any finisher, and none of them will tell you that they're perfect, right? And usually all those finishers are quite humble people, and you know, they just have some demons and they keep coming back and challenging themselves.
Any good athlete tries to strengthen his weaknesses. If you've got a weakness in sports, whether the opponent is another athlete or the Barkley, it's going to attack your weaknesses.
I've improved so much since my first exposure out here, but like I'm like nowhere near where I need to be if I were to ever successfully finish a Barkley, which is on the outer crest of what is even achievable. Kind of broke the Barkley this time. Good luck to future runners. It's going to be, I have no idea what kind of craziness they're going to add to it next time.
ask you today if you're gonna come back here one day, what would be your answer?
Well, if you asked me yesterday, I said 100% no, I wasn't gonna come back here. I can't say no now.